Okay, so I think all things being considered, we are in fact live. Hello, my name's Terence Mentor, and I'm joined by the fantastic Sean Lutz. And we were
What's chicken,
supposed,
little chicken?
yeah, a little chicken. Oh, that's so cute. So we were supposed to start the stream 20 minutes ago, but because life is difficult, we could not get the technical things right. I thought I had everything in the bag, and I was very, very wrong. We definitely have about a 20-second delay on Instagram, so still send us your questions, still send us your thoughts, still send us your comments, and I'm just getting all the things ready in my space, and we will endeavor to talk about to focus on what you're talking about. Okay, so hey, welcome to Have You Asked Your Dad? This is the podcast and live stream where we talk about things that are important to parents and dads, and we ask dads questions that they should get asked, like coffee. That's just the word with the question mark next to it. Now, the idea was that we'd be drinking our coffee while doing this, but that was 20 minutes ago. So,
Yeah. I mean, I do have a cup in front of me.
yeah,
It,
yeah.
it's due to be microwaved, which in some households is such a no-no, but not so much in mine. But now that we're going, I'm not going to leave to go and pop this in microwave. I'm just
No,
going to drink
no,
it.
that would
It's
be crazy.
one of those things.
That would be
Yeah.
absolutely crazy to do that. So let's just let's just stick to what we want to be talking about. So this came up because a few days ago, actually last week, when we were talking about doing this live stream, and we were like, what's important to us right now? And it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, and this is where you said,
Actually, I don't remember what my phrasing was, but it was very much about like, would you like a cup of coffee, or I need some coffee, or
yeah,
let's talk about coffee because that's what I need right now, you
that
know?
was in your head. That was the thing that you're thinking about at that exact point in time. So that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about coffee. We want to talk about how coffee happens in different households, the different
Mm.
styles of coffee that people have. I asked a bunch of questions on Aphrodite's Instagram account. A lot of people gave me input. This is something that I think it's not just important to us, because usually when I ask people questions, I might get like a couple of answers. The moment I started asking people about coffee, I was literally getting answers from around the world. Coffee is clearly important to people. So
It's a universal topic, clearly. Yeah.
yeah, must be. So I think we have to ask Sean, how does coffee happen at your house?
So it happens in the sense that my wife loves the stuff to the extent that the day doesn't start without the kettle being boiled. Um, can I tell you something? Load shedding has made her get up earlier in some cases because if we're scheduled to have a power out at 6 a.m., i.e., a block of 2 hours where there's
Yeah.
going to be no electricity, she will get up. She will set her alarm on her phone for 5:45, snooze until 10 to 6, and then get up just to make sure that the kettle is boiled and that there's hot water in a flask so that she can have it at 7. Um, I mean, my straight answer, I suppose, to how does coffee work in our house, whoever's closest to the kettle invariably ends up boiling it. Um, it's it's a constant. Yeah.
So
How about
so
you?
so there's not a dedicated barista in the Lord's household.
Oh,
That's what you're telling me.
no, no. Mish on the live stream says hi. So hi, Mish. Thanks so much
Hey,
for.
Mish, thanks so much for popping in. Yes, she says we're very passionate about coffee. Yes, we are. Okay, and listen, I have information that backs up that we are not alone in our passion for coffee. So
Oh, you do. I love stats. I'm married to a scientist, so I often say science says what scientists say, and I'm just really relying on her. But in this case, you have fresh information for me. It's not.
yeah,
It's not falsified.
yeah. But I mean, that is good to be married to a scientist, because then again, whatever she says is backed up by science, right? So
Yeah.
that's
No. 1 out of 1 scientist says.
100% of scientists agree
Yes.
that I am very good looking. You know what? So in my house, originally we used to take turns making coffee. But then last year, for her birthday, I bought my wife a coffee machine, like a espresso machine thing with the steam and the plungy and all that kind of stuff. And part of that came with the agreement that I would be the main coffee maker in the house. That was part of the gift for a couple of reasons. A, it was just, I'm just a great husband. But B, when it comes to learning new technical things, I don't want to say my wife is bad at it, but
But 100% of scientists say.
but 100% of scientists say that she's not great at it. No, but it's not that she's not great. It's that she feels like I'm better, so she just lets me do it. Even though she's like, well, if you're better at learning new things, then you learn the new thing, and that'll be your thing from this point on. So whenever there's a new piece of tech, like anything that has electricity running through it, if it comes into the house, it becomes my responsibility. So inevitably, I'm the one that makes the majority of coffee in the house.
Okay. And how does that make you feel, Terence?
Honestly,
I mean, this is a trick question too, because it was part of your gift, which means
yes, but in my mind, it wouldn't. I wasn't thinking that would be part of the gift for eternity. Like, right? I'd really thought that would be like 6 weeks of me making coffee, and then she'd get into the flow. Nope. She's. I know she has a work meeting right now, so she's not watching the stream, so I can say whatever I like. I really did think that there would be equality in the coffee making world in Plumstead in Cape Town by this time. Like, her birthday is next week, so it's officially been a year of this now, of me being the primary coffee maker. Now, to be fair, she will make the occasional black coffee. Like, I like my coffee black, so just espresso, like Americano, basically, espresso with some hot water in. She'll do that. But when it comes to like steaming the milk, because it's not an automatic steamer, it's like the thing where you have to put the nozzle into the hot milk and get it right. She has actively chosen not to try that at all. Like, she won't try to do it at all, because it's like, what's the word that they'll use against men quite often when you actively don't want to learn how to do a thing? A weaponized incompetence. That's the word I'm looking for. Weaponized incompetence. That's what's happening here. She knows that the moment if she learns how to use the coffee machine effectively, then she will have no excuse. Right now, she's like, oh, I really want a nice frothy like cappuccino or latte, and I would do it, but I don't know how, and you know how, so could you make it for me? Or when people come around and it's time to make coffee, oh, Terence makes such a nice cup of coffee. I make a terrible cup of coffee, so I end up like being at the machine for half an hour making coffee for everyone. So that's how that happens in my house. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is a little bit of resentment.
No, not really. I wish I were there last year to have coached you through the gift giving process. I think the gift itself is great. And I think the offer to make coffee is great, but it should have had some kind of a caveat to it. Maybe it was a card that says, I will make coffee, like make 5 cards and it's a coffee voucher, right?
Yes.
I'll do it if you get a voucher. But now you're so far in, I'm afraid this is never going to change. And even if you were to, Rome Parenting has just joined on the live stream. Sup? Even if you were to now buy her a barista course, it's going to seem patronizing. It's going to seem
that's
like
true. It's going to seem super petty, right? It's like, we're now spending money because I'm too lazy to make a cup of coffee for you. And this, but you know where it starts to really become annoying for me, right? So, the normal system in the morning is that I get the boys ready, because I work from home. Julie often has to go into the office, so she'll get ready to go to the office. She'll then take the boys to school and then go to the office, right? So part of my process of getting the boys ready for school is I make a cup of coffee to go for her. Like we have a little to-go cup. So when she walks out of the house, she grabs the keys, she grabs the bag, and then right by her bag is a cup of coffee, freshly made. Yeah, like, and I'm talking. I don't want to pat myself on the back. This isn't like moer coffee. This is proper. I'm like grinding beans. I'm tamping it down. I'm getting the levels just right. You know, all that kind of stuff. Steam coming out. It's a good cup of coffee to start your day on. And I do that with love, right? Yeah. I do mostly, but when on the few occasions that I have to go into the office and I drop the boys off, is there a cup of coffee waiting for me? No, there isn't. And then I was like, well, why isn't this happening? She's like, oh, you didn't ask. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to ask. It's a standard. I've made a standard in the house. Why is this not happening? And anyway, I don't want to be complaining about my wife for too much about the coffee, but as you can tell, there's a level of, I am resenting the inequality in coffee making in my house. So
those that are listening on the stream and watching the stream as well, feel free to let us know what your coffee making habits at home are like. We'd love to hear from you. I also posted questions to Instagram. Thanks for that. And you can go through some of those answers a little bit later if you like.
Yeah.
You do seem to have inequality there. And is Julie's reason simply because I don't know how, so I'm not going to?
So she has the "it was my birthday gift" reason. Secondly, okay. She always seems busier than I am. She always seems to be on the run to something.
She's quite superhuman, and she does a lot of stuff, Terence.
She does do a lot of stuff, and she does. And I also think she needs the coffee more than I do.
Right.
So you would think that would mean that she would be the first one to make it because she's the one that needs it more. But actually, I think part of her coping with the day is having a cup of coffee made by her husband helps her get through the process. So I think she sees it as an opportunity for me to show her love.
Right. This golden opportunity, my husband.
Yeah.
Show me you love me.
Show me you love me.
Make me a good cup of coffee.
Every single day. I won't even thank you for it because you know I'm thankful for it. It's just a thing that we're going to do until the day you die, mentor. That is what
you're starting to sound bitter, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, am I going back to bitter? I mean...
Dial it down.
I mean, yes, great opportunity to show my wife love and affection. And like Shauna said, if you're on the stream, like, are you the coffee person in your house? Because so in your house, there's not a coffee person. There's whoever gets the kettle first makes the coffee.
I mean, I think in many households, when somebody hears you, pottering around in the kitchen, if you're like, why don't you switch the kettle on while you're there? And I've gone as far as switching the kettle on, but then not doing anything else. And then the question later follows, it goes, where's the coffee? I was like,
I've done that. That's a bad. Michelle says, I tend to wake up first, so we'll make. Also, I do prefer making it myself as opposed to my husband making it. It's also the same situation regarding the water as in Sean's house. Yeah. So if just shouting out, please put the kettle on. Or have you ever tried to do the thing of, would you like a cup of coffee? And the person says, yes, please. Or the person says, yes, I would. And you say, okay, well, while you're making yours, could you also make for me?
Oh, it's such a dad thing to do.
Yeah, and it never works.
No, I've done that.
So, what kind of coffee are you having at your house? Because I've been to your house and it's different.
Always instant. So the quicker the coffee can be made, the better.
Okay,
right.
I see.
That would explain the lack of barista machines and the lack of finesse that goes into it. Plungers, like, I don't have that much disposable time, my friend. I can't wait that long.
It's a faff. It's a proper faff to get to the coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. And people know that Rue loves coffee, so they'll give her great coffee beans, which is fantastic. But then they just sit in the cupboard. And until it gets to the point where, like, we're starting to run out of the instant stuff, we may as well use some of this because it's here. And then it's the whole palaver of how many beans do we need to grind? How do we get it to the right, the powdery consistency, right? That grind level is really fine. Then it's the plunger. Then it's the waiting. Then by the time you've waited, the coffee's now cold because you couldn't keep the warm water so hot. And it's just such a faff.
Yeah.
It makes me not enjoy the coffee as much. And invariably, because the ground coffee is that much stronger and so far superior. I'm not used to it. So that means invariably I don't enjoy it as much. Um,
It is an acquired
so
taste, like a
yeah,
stronger espresso kind of coffee.
yeah, yeah. So I'll enjoy that if I go out. Then somebody else can make it, and then it's a real treat, right? Give me a flat white, give me a latte, give me go the full shebang. But at home, quick and dirty, man. So invariably, though, we're drinking as strong a coffee as we can get because, again, Rowena likes her strong coffee. So we're drinking one of those like Douwe Egberts, like 4 bean, 5 bean strength stuff. Um, if you can find it on special, because that stuff's so expensive. Uh, and of course, we know you're using a legit machine. Have you ever
Yes.
reverted back to the instant just to throw Julie off a little? I hope she never hears me.
Oh no, 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 no! Never. I would never do that because if sorry, I'm just seeing our stream status in the YouTube is live. Okay, cool, all
Oh,
good. Um, so Julie's the kind of person that once she experiences a nice thing, like that's the standard, and
right.
you're not gonna send her back to a. So even when we got married, when we first got married, we were young and poor and broke, as opposed to now when we're old and poor and broke. But being young and poor and broke, we were like, listen, we can't afford to have a lot of nice things, but the one thing we will do that we will always make sure that it's nice is we will always have Jacob's Kroning coffee in the house, right? Like that was the. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to go lower than Jacob's Kroning. We're not going to go Rick Coffee Standard. We're not going to go Nescafe. Jacob's Kroning is what we have. We don't care. Like we will have bread on. We'll have butter on bread for a day or two, but we'll have it without Jacob's Kroning. So
Yes.
and that's really from her. Like she was quite particular about that. Um, I could have anything. Like you put whatever in front of me. If it vaguely smells of coffee,
Yeah.
I'll enjoy it. But um, I I would never try to. So I've been in places where there hasn't been good coffee available. So when there's
Mm.
been instant coffee available, if it's not, I mean, even with Jacob's Kroning, Julie will be like, "I'll have tea rather than a cup of coffee." So you know that if we go to your house and she asks for tea, she doesn't trust that the coffee at your house is good enough.
Fair enough. She wants to enjoy her experience. She knows how to set that experience up as best as possible. A woman that knows what she wants, nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that at all. She knows what the deal is. I am very much again. Um, okay, I just noticed that we have the broadcast has ended unexpectedly.
Oh, look at that.
Um, okay,
Oh, yes, I said it's just gone off here too.
so this Lula TV is not great.
Maybe it also
Um,
only lost.
no, it just said it ended unexpectedly. So let me see if it's. Oh, this is a pain. Again, this is the kind of stuff that Yellow Duck just deals with.
Mitigates, yeah.
Yeah. It's saying starting, so I don't know how long it's going to take to start. Good timing with the drill, though.
Good. Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I'm trying to every now and again mute my microphone when I hear the drill start. But the drill runs
okay.
for a short period of time.
Yeah,
It's
it's. Um, that's crazy that this is not working. Okay, so it says that the bitrate was too high,
fun.
but the bitrate. Okay, I'm gonna go to 1000. Um, and video stream output. Let's see. Okay. It's starting. And of course, what's going to happen now is that we are going to run out of time on the Zoom meeting. I think I'm at the point of going that this one was a failure. I can't believe how painful this was. Wow, this takes a long time to get started.
Yeah, I mean, it's painful in the regards that it previously was so seamless.
Yes.
So that's the pain.
Yeah. It's just that the one piece of software that usually works isn't working today. That's really the only issue. Okay, I think well, there's a countdown happening.
The countdown has begun.
So the Lula countdown that says we have 158 minutes left this month is counting down, but the stream isn't working. So I don't understand what is happening. Yeah. Okay, let's get that down to that. Yeah, it's interesting here. You can't. Go live. I mean, we're technically still live on YouTube right now, but we don't have anyone watching at the moment, so that's fine. Because we don't have anyone on our YouTube channel. But okay, this is this is a pain in the butt. High resolution bitrate detected. No, there isn't, because history overlays. There's no high resolution detected. It's not 30 frames per second. Backtrack. Nope. I'm sorry, dude. This is just not going. This is not working. Oh, your mic's off.
It's one of them things.
Oh, what a flippin' hassle. Okay, I'm going to